now at the refinishing stage of this cabinet, and one of the things that I'm trying to consider is, do I want to maintain the patina that this cabinet has, or do I want to refinish the whole thing? And so by looking at the pieces that I've got that need work, this is the one that I repaired the leg on that was broken. It needs definitely some work here and some on the back also. And on the green striping area over here, that's going to have to be rebuilt with some sort of a filler. So I've got some pieces here that are in bad need of restoration, but I'm looking at the top, even though it has some abrasion and some scratch marks along here. I could probably work that out and do minimum work on that and just shade it back in with the darkening stain that they have around the edges. The one area that I will have to work on is this area that I actually replaced that was missing, had been knocked off in the past. So my feeling at this point is I'm going to try to keep the patina as close as I can to the original. This side is perfect, there's nothing wrong with it. The front is perfect except for the worn areas where people actually had to open it, and you can see where the hands were used to open it. There was a knob here, and this is how they held the door. So this will have to be addressed here. Insides are in pretty good shape. There's some blackening going on here. I'm not sure what that is, but this side also has a lot of scratches. So we got a top and a side that need to be paid attention to. So what I'm going to start on first, I think I'm going to put this to the side. I've got these two legs that I've got to go ahead and start with first, and so I'll be sanding those down. Now I've looked pretty closely. I think what I've got here is solid wood, so I don't think I'm going to run into a problem with sanding down through it. I don't see any evidence of a veneer being used on this. Looks like it's all solid wood. I hope I don't get any surprises. So I'm going to go ahead and start sanding these. These are in such bad shape that I do have to sand them down to get a decent finish on them. So the trick there is going to be making it compatible and look like the original. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that, and we'll see where we wind up. Well, I've been trying to figure out if I should go ahead and sand this side completely, even though it only has a couple of areas where it's chipped or needs to be stained a little bit. But on the edge here, I've got some chips that are appearing as I sand. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just sand it out. That way I have a match set with the two that that the cabinet will be sitting on. It'll be very consistent and look good together. But I've just noticed on this leg here, there's a flathead screw that's been screwed through here, and that apparently was done when this leg was broken off, because you can see the crack here, and the screw goes right through the two into this wood here. So that's been repaired before also. That means both of these have been repaired in exactly the same spot, and that's best done on these by going ahead and staining it first and then hitting it with a dark accent on the bottom and top. So I'll go ahead and finish this one out, get this one completely sanded off, and then we can look at the edges. So the edges look pretty good until I get to that broken one that I had, and I have to repair this area right here. And this area right here looks like it's missing some flakes of the original wood, and it's, even though it's been perfectly placed, it just doesn't have that piece that I need to continue that that even flow. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and probably put a wood filler in there of some kind. Same thing in here, same thing here, and same thing in there. And I'll go ahead and form the channels that I need, and then I'll match the paint of the green and the brown of the outer stain here. Okay, that's that side. Got a little bit of stuff going on down here. A few chips out of there I've got to cover up. I think I'll go ahead and leave it that way. Well, now that I've finished the staining of the legs, I've got to go ahead and mix up a paint color in here, which is the interior green stripe that you see. And where I'm going to need it is where I did the repair. So this is what I'm looking for here. And the colors I'm going to mix are blue, yellow, and white. And that should get me fairly close to what I need. So we'll start with the blue, add some yellow, and then some white. This is a water-soluble acrylic, so, all right, so far we're in the yellow range. Let's add a little bit more blue. I believe this is cobalt blue. Getting closer. Let's see how close we are. I'd say that's a fairly good match. It needs to be a little bit darker. So add a little bit more blue. Still a little bit light. Keep adding blue. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and just repaint the whole stripe and be done with it. But I think I can get close enough to the actual color here to not worry about that. A pretty good match. When it dries, it's going to dry just a little bit darker. Acrylic does that. Okay, now put this to this. That is the top. And that's the top. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these upright. The first layer of spray is going to be a light spray, and I want to get this at least covered one time to seal in the stain that I've got on here. One goes there, the other one goes here. These are about 1.5 inch screws, and they will lock everything in place. Got to make sure these are lined up correctly. Make sure they're locked into the right location. Tighten that one. Now I'm going to leave everything fairly loose because I still have to do the dowels. So I'll do this one over here first. Spread that glue out. I'm going to have some squeeze out, but I don't want too much. Now I know this is the top, so I've got to go this way with it. Okay, now I have squeeze out, which is good. But I'll go ahead and start wiping it down. Go ahead and wipe the glue off here before I tighten up, get most of it off. So this is a paper towel that's slightly moist. All right, so I'll do that. Now I think I'll go ahead and tighten up the screws. Both sides have been glued. Well, everything is glued down. The screws are in place. The legs are square to the body. And now I just have to wait to see how it sets up. They'll take a couple of hours, and then we'll flip it over on its legs and take a look at what else we might need to do. If you enjoyed watching this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and remember, keep your spirits high and your tools sharp.